If you remember, I once said that all these lessons are going to get harder and harder and harder. We've got 2 lessons to go. You are almost there. By now, you should be at the point where you can ride on public roads. You know how to maneuver your bike. You're comfortable with the weight of your bike, and now you know how to shift gears. So riding on the public road is possible now. But these next 2 lessons are going to get harder, because in order to prepare you to avoid an obstacle, let's say a car pull out in front of you, dogs run out in front of you, there's road surface hazards on the ground, a 2x4 falls out of the back of a pickup truck. Things like that happen on the public road. As a new rider, situation awareness is going to be one of those things that your brain is going to put on the back burner, because you have so much new information that you're working with your bike and these new skills that you've learned, that paying attention to everything all at once, that's not going to be as feasible as you'd like to think it is. So here what I've set up is using the same measurements of 9 feet between these parking spaces. I'm going to use this line here as my starting point. I get to drive through here about 18 feet, so that's 2 lines. I've set up random exit points. One on the left that's a little bit close, one on the right that's a little further out. This is where you're going to be implementing all of your skills that you've learned. So adding some speed, shifting gears. Now you're going to practice an offset weave pretty much at speed in order to get that swerve into these cones. And then we're going to be able to move these cones a little bit to make it a little more challenging or a little less challenging, depending on where we're at in our skill. Right now we've got a good little setup here, an easy left swerve, a little bit harder right swerve, and we've got plenty of space behind us so that we can slow down and reset without any danger of hitting any obstacles. If you remember with the offset weaves, it was more dancing with the bike. So you'd enter your cone, eyes are up, and you would just kind of dance with the bike to be able to position it where you want to go. And this is all the offset weave looks like. When you're starting out, make one of your exits pretty easy, make another one of your exits a little bit harder, and then start off slow just to kind of get a feel for where your exits are. There's our swerve. Easy little swerve, a little offset weave, just to start the day off right. Now we're going to reset. We're going to go the same speed, but we're going to hit that right side instead of the left side to make it a little bit more challenging. So there's our swerve. And using the same cones that we've been using and in first gear, we're just going to keep practicing our swerve. We're going to add a little more speed. Eyes are up, and we're just dancing with the bike around the objects, looking at where we want to go versus where we don't want to go. We don't want to hit the cones, so we're not going to look at the cones. We're going to use our peripherals to look at the cones. And same thing with the right swerve. We're going to come up to our cones, and then, oh shoot, there is an object in the road and I got to swerve to the right really hard. Now at slow speeds, you're going to find that this is a lot of direct steering, this is a lot of offset weave, same stuff we've been doing in order to make those swerves. When you add a little bit of speed, you can't make those same swerves in that same distance. So the more speed you're going to add, what you're going to want to do is spread those cones out, maybe to 30 feet. Here's our entry point. This is where we're going to start on our swerve. And we were using about 18 feet here. So we're going to go from 18, 27. Let's go right in the middle, make this ish 30 feet. And I'm going to set up a swerve here. And I'm going to have to go through that box. That is a realistic swerve. That is, you're traveling behind another car at a slower speed and something falls out, or they travel over something and you don't see it until the last second. And if it's traveling right at you, you need to be there before it gets to you. So I'm going to get a running start. So from here, I'm going to shift into second, get myself ready, get a little bit more speed, and then I'm going to pick a random one. Let's go left. All right, we're reset. We're going to go for the right side this time. A little bit faster speed, swerve to the right. Okay, that object was no problem for me, and it passed me and probably got ran over by the car behind me. And like everything else, you're starting these off super slow. You're going to want to practice this, again, more times than you think you probably should. Gamify it if you have to. Make it fun. Add some prizes to it. You have a buddy out here kind of watching you and giving you tips on how you look and how your form was. Whatever you got to do to get your practice and get out here and do the thing, do that.